Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something that I find really interesting, especially lately, I guess. Well, this is something that I've been thinking about probably for as long as I've known what it is. And if you've been in the artist community for even a fraction of some time, you probably know about what this is. And I'm going to be talking about OCs today. And while I blab on about OCs, I will be drawing my own OC, Jen, on the side, I think, maybe here, and her friend Frogo. Enjoy. So an OC is a original character created by someone, either straight out of their mind, well, I guess it always comes from their mind, straight out of their mind, but either it's just like completely made up, or it's based on something loosely like you made your own character from a video game that fits in that world, but it's your own sort of, well, original character. And this is something that is really popular in the artist community, especially the younger ones, so to say. But I guess all artists that do characters do OCs. They just don't really call them OCs, I guess, when it's to do with work or anything like that. So there's pretty much a whole community around this. And when I was a youngling, I wanted to be cool like everyone else and have my own OCs. Because you saw these people have some really cool looking original characters, and they drew them over and over again in different, environments, situations, outfits, states of mind, I guess, different like emotional states and stuff. And I just thought it was so freaking cool, and I really wanted to do that. But when I was younger, I couldn't get into it, and I couldn't really understand it either, I guess. Because I tried so many times to create my own OCs, and technically I guess I did, but I would draw them once and then I'd never draw them again. So while they technically are an OC, they just never saw the light of day again. For some reason, I just couldn't find the interest to draw these characters again. And I'm not entirely sure why. Well, maybe until now. Because I said what I saw was people drawing their OCs over and over again and talking about them and their backstories. How many of us haven't heard a crazy backstory of someone's OC that they have crazy trauma and their parents are dead and all this stuff? It's riveting stuff usually, actually. And I just couldn't do it. I would just get very bored of drawing the same thing over and over, and I just wanted to draw new things. But I have been thinking about this a lot more lately, since I've been working on my short film now for about 1.5 years. And obviously I've been drawing the main character of my film over and over and over and over again. And it has had a very interesting effect on me, which we're gonna get to in the end of the video. So why do people create OCs, and why do they get so attached to them? I've done some digging around on the interwebs, and this is what I got. Some people say that they're creating OCs just because they're bored. It's just a fun thing to do, to express yourself creatively, to experiment, to tell a story. Sometimes they create these characters for really specific things, like they want to make a comic, they want to do some animation, or maybe they just want to tell a story, their story. But some other people also say that they use this as a sort of escapism, to escape reality, so to say, and to be able to express themselves properly, to get all of this that is up in here out, to make it make sense. And while some just do it because they're bored and they just want to have some fun, some other people are getting way more attached to their characters. And that is because this can also be used as a way of relieving trauma. Because you have someone here that you can really rely on, someone that's there and that maybe understands you and your specific circumstances. And it might sound weird to some people that maybe don't do art or don't even like animation or comics, but for someone as myself that I'm totally into all of this stuff, I completely and utterly understand this. And I think that's also why there's a lot of talk about representation in animation and such. Because there's just something very special about seeing or hearing or just experiencing something or someone who can understand us, even if it's just a cartoon character. Because in the end, all of these characters are written by real people. And in this case, it's your own. It's yourself. Because whether we like it or not, there's a lot of talk about that we, to some extent, we can't not put ourselves in our characters, even in the tiniest bit. Like if I make a space ranger character that kills aliens or something in space, obviously that's not my life, but there might be some character traits or something that this character will go through that I really relate to. And this is why I think a lot of people get really attached to their OCs, which I think can be a really beautiful thing. But while I was looking around on the interwebs, I also saw a lot of people talking about that it could be a bad thing to be really attached to your OCs. But mostly people seem to think that it was a good thing. It could be really helpful for mental health. And as I said before, some people just do it for fun as well. So back to my story, I guess. As I said, I've been working on my film for a really long time, and I've been drawing this character. Her name is Jen, and she has a friend called Froggo. It's her little plushy frog. And I've been drawing them a lot these past couple of years, or year, whatever. And one day, I was just thinking about her, I guess. And it was really weird, because I was thinking, like, wow, I actually really care about this character. And I've never had that feeling before. And I really felt like, or I really thought, like, wait, like, is this my first, like, real OC that I'm attached to? So this character Jen is obviously very much like myself, or like very much based on myself. I'm not even trying to hide that she's to a very high degree some sort of version of a younger me. And I guess maybe that's why I care for her. Because I care for myself. And maybe that's sort of something that I didn't have with the characters when I was younger, because I'd draw cool samurais and ninjas and robots and stuff, but I didn't really care about them. And I guess I didn't really put that much personality into them at that age. Which is really cool that some people can do that now when I'm thinking about it. Because I feel like my ability to tell stories and create characters with personalities has really evolved as I've gotten older. And Jen, even though she's just a cartoon character, it's just really familiar. It feels like warmth. I feel... well, we could be best friends for sure. And Jen, she just feels really familiar, and like, I guess this is what you could call a comfort character. Because that's something I've heard as well. And I feel like I could draw her 1,000 times more, 3,000 times more, and I wouldn't get bored of it. Which is a weird feeling, to say the least. So this whole thing about OCs that has always been a huge mystery to me has finally sort of revealed itself to me at the age of 34. And I'm loving it, truly. And I'm really excited to finish this film soon, so that the world can see Jen and Froggo and, well, my story. Well, it's not a real story. It's a fictional story, but it has a lot of my feelings. A lot of my feelings in it. So do you create your own OCs? Who are they? I really want to know. Like, do the whole backstory and everything down in the comments. I'd love that. And if you have any other input about OCs, why you create them, that would also be very interesting to know about. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.